Hello everybody, happy St. Patrick's Day, my favorite day of the year. I wish I was drinking beer while I'm making this video, but it's like 11 a.m. and I still have to work today, so we'll wait for later. And hopefully we'll make it correctly now because of that. Okay, so today I am actually going recipe-less. I just found this beautiful picture of like a chicken and orzo recipe with tomatoes and spinach. It looks really, really wonderful. So it just gave me the amounts of ingredients, and then I'm just gonna basically see if I can make it work and put it all together. So I'm also gonna add my flair on seasonings and things like that with it. So I'll just kind of tell you all the ingredients. I have everything set and then we'll get started. So I have like an Italian seasoning. If you want to just use that, I would say that's just a really good place to start. I'm going to add paprika. I'm going to add crushed red pepper. I would add, oh my gosh, brain fart. Cayenne. I would add cayenne, but I'm actually making this for a friend today who does not like super spicy, so I'm just gonna stick with the red pepper flakes. And then I'm gonna add an extra bit of oregano. I'm gonna add some garlic salt, because I love garlic salt on everything. And then I'm gonna use this wonderful Alejo pepper that is just so good in like everything. And basically what I'm gonna do first is I'm just gonna open up, it called for chicken thighs, which I do love chicken thighs, but today I'm gonna use these boneless, skinless chicken tenders. I think they're gonna just cook really fast and be nice for like splitting it up, because I'm gonna do some in like a meal prep and then I'm gonna bring some for me and my friend today. So I think these are just gonna be really quick and easy. And so basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open the packages and then I'm gonna cover them with seasoning. So I will do that and then I'll show you a picture. I'll add a picture in there. But that way it just kind of gives it a nice crust. And I only do one side because when you flip it, it'll all get on there in the pan, but you could totally do both if you really wanted a crazy amount of seasoning. Then I just have orzo, which I've actually never made orzo before. I'm gonna kind of treat it like rice. And it is 1 cup orzo for 2 cups liquid. And I'm gonna use chicken stock because wow, is that a game changer? Talk about like adding flavor. So you literally just replace the chicken stock instead of water. And you always wanna get the low sodium because you're gonna add your own salt and seasonings at the end. So always get that low sodium. So I have those. And then I got a shallot. It didn't have a shallot in there, but I'm gonna toast that up with the orzo and I think that's gonna be really good. Cherry tomatoes and then spinach. I have some lemon for a little acid at the end. And then I have extra garlic also. I think I've said this before, but I always buy this bad boy and I just use extra because it's not as fresh. So if you just use more, it usually works pretty well. I just hate chopping up garlic. I'm so lazy. So that is a great substitute. All right, let's get started. Okay, we are ready. I have my pan on about medium heat here with a little bit of olive oil in there. I am gonna heat up the pan first because I do wanna get a nice sear. So I'm literally just going to toss these bad boys in, face down, and then cover it and then flip them in about 3 minutes or so. Make sure that that little pad doesn't go in there. Ooh, watch for splashes. There we go. So it'll start sizzling. Break this up a little bit. I like to use, where are my tongs? There we go. I like to use these guys just because it makes them a little bit easier to kind of handle everything. And then if you did want to add more seasoning, I would just do it now. Instead of already put them upside down, that would be perfect. I don't know if it needs it though. I was also thinking as I was kind of adding the seasonings, these ingredients are so mild that you could really take this a lot of different directions. Okay, and since these are a lot smaller than like a chicken breast and thinner than even a chicken thigh, I'm just gonna turn the heat down a little bit and then I'm gonna cover it. And I'm gonna let it do its magic here for a little bit. I'm gonna kind of just keep an eye on them because I don't cook this style too often, so I don't want them to overcook. Okay, I added a little more seasoning. I couldn't help it. So they're already cooking nicely on one side, so I'm just gonna flip them around. I'll bring this over here so you can kind of see this beautiful crust. And I'm doing this first because I'm gonna take the chicken out and I'm gonna cook the orzo and the shallots in this pan. So then it's gonna soak up all those extra flavors from the chicken. And then I'm gonna put the stock right in here. So that's why I like to cook the meat. Anytime you're cooking meat and then gonna cook like all rice or anything else in that same pan, or try and use that same pan if you're gonna cook it after. So we're just gonna finish this off. Here, I'll give you a nice quick peek. Look at that, yum. Oh, it smells so good. The alejo pepper is just like so rich and warm. I'm ecstatic, it's my favorite seasoning. Okay, so as soon as this finishes up, we'll get started on the orzo. Okay, the chicken is done. Took it out. Look how beautiful that looks. Oh, yum, so good. Okay, so now my pan is still going. Look at all those beautiful seasonings and juices. So now we are gonna toast the orzo along with the shallots. So I'm just going to dump my cup of orzo in here. I'm gonna turn the heat up a little bit because we just want to get them toasty. And then I'm gonna throw my shallots in here. And I'm gonna put a little garlic in here as well. And when I say a little, I kind of mean a lot. I'm gonna put like 2 spoonfuls in here. Well, like that. We'll start with that. You never know. Okay, we'll start with that. And now we're just gonna kind of toast it up. So cover it with all those seasonings here. What do I want to use? There we go. And you could put the garlic in later too. A lot of times they say to add it at the end and only give it a few minutes, but I don't mind when it just kind of cooks all in there together. I think it's delicious. And okay, so here we go. I have it up to about medium heat. See how it kind of covered all the little pieces there with those beautiful seasonings, so it immediately got darker. And yeah, we're just gonna do this for, I don't know, a minute or so, just so they kind of get toasty, a little tiny bit, you know, brown, nothing crazy. I want the shallots to kind of soften up. And then, actually, you know what? So it didn't tell me how to do the tomatoes. I think I'm gonna put them in now because I want them to burst. And then if they don't, I will, there we go. This might be a mistake, but we'll wing it. I want them to burst. And then if they don't, I'll just have to maybe take them out and cook them separately to get them to cook down a little bit more. But I think if we do this, it'll be fine because then we'll put the stock in and then they'll continue to keep cooking. So they'll just get a little bit roasted here with everything. Oh my God, how beautiful is this? I need an above camera, like one that just sticks right here. Look at this. So then the tomatoes are gonna get a little roasty. They're gonna get all that flavor in there. Yum. Okay, so that's it. Now I'm just gonna add the broth. And one whole thing is exactly how much I need. It's 4 cups. And it's, ooh, I'm gonna double check now. I'm second guessing myself. It said, always check here. Yeah, 2 quarts water, 1 cup orzo. Boom. Okay, so here we go. Turn it on low, add it in. That's a lot of liquid for 1 cup. Ooh, this seems wrong. You guys, I'm nervous. I'm not gonna do quite all of it. I'm gonna do almost all of it. It is like pasta though. It's more like pasta than rice. Okay, so I'm gonna pour almost all of it in there and then I'm gonna let it sit. It looks like a lot. Okay, we'll see. This is why we try new things. And then I'm gonna leave it on low. And I am going to cover it. And we're just gonna let it do its magic. And then when it's done, or almost like right before it's done, I'll add the spinach so it wilts. Spinach does not take long to cook or like wilt down. So I'm gonna save that. And I think I'm gonna chop up the chicken. I wasn't going to, but since I have time, I think I'm gonna kind of chop it up so it's just all distributed between the orzo. So it'll be more like a combo dish. Okay, so finish reading the instructions. Bring water to the boil. Add salt if desired. Stir in orzo, return to a boil, cook uncovered 8 to 10 minutes. So I'm gonna bring it to a boil real quick since I already added it. I just turned it up to high. It shouldn't take long, and it shouldn't matter because obviously I did it a little bit backwards anyway with toasting them first. And I wanted everything to stay in the same pan, so it'll be fine. And then I covered it, and I'm not gonna cover it because it says cook uncovered for 8 to 10 minutes. So I think I'm just gonna keep an eye on it because obviously if there's too much liquid or too little, then I can just add a bit more as it kind of whatever. But man, it's like swimming in this liquid, so we shall see. But yeah, you know, that's always a good read the whole thing. Okay, I think this makes a lot more sense because it's gonna continue to boil like on a medium boil, just like you would cook pasta. So I think I just kept having like rice in my head, which is why I was doing it kind of backwards. So I'm just having it on like a medium boil. We're at like, yeah, a little above medium. Look at this though. So this makes sense. This makes sense why there's so much liquid. So I am gonna keep a really close eye on it and make sure I can add liquid. But I do wanna keep it boiling. So I might like kind of just start adding it in because now I'm nervous it's gonna be too dry. Okay, update. There are 2 minutes left. And it's looking good. It is, I think we're gonna be okay. I added a little bit more, but not a lot more. And I think it's perfect. And these tomatoes are blistering just how I wanted them to. And it smells, oh, it smells divine. I'm so excited. So I think we're good. I definitely didn't need all that liquid, I don't think. Because it's supposed to be creamy. Again, I don't even think I've had Orzo. If I did, it was at a restaurant and I don't remember. So, you know, we're gonna give it a little bit. I don't want it to be like juicy, so I'm just gonna kind of keep cooking it down and hopefully it doesn't get overcooked. And then I'm gonna put the chicken back in. I added it here, or cut it up, sorry. Cut it all up, and I think that'll be nice and easy. And then if it's undercooked a little bit, no worries, because you'll just kind of finish it in the boil, so it'll finish cooking a little bit. I always am, especially if you're putting something back into something hot, I always go on the underside because it'll continue to cook. So you don't want it to be already like fully done, and then you're throwing it back into something hot, and then it gets overdone, and you don't want that. So, and then when I put the chicken in, I'll put the spinach in, stir it all up and give it a whirl. Oh, you guys, so good. Okay, so the timer just went off for 10 minutes. It says 8 to 10. So it is definitely, I mean, that was the right move. Again, there's still a little bit in here. I mean, probably a fourth a cup or so. I'm just gonna give it a couple. I actually think I'm gonna put the chicken in, I'm gonna put the spinach in, and let's just see what it looks like because it'll continue to cook. So here we go. Get all this out of the way. Boom, boom. So we're gonna add that chicken in, and I made a lot of chicken, so I'm just gonna kind of start with about half, see what that looks like. Can always save the rest for salads or something, and I love it cut up. I think this is gonna be more like a full pasta dish. And then spinach, it says like 2 cups. I mean, I just kind of start with like handfuls, put it in and see how it wilts down. I'm also gonna turn this down to low because now we are, oh my goodness, look how beautiful this looks. A little bit more, why not? We gotta have our healthy greens in here, right? This is, I mean, wow. This is gonna taste good. It's gonna be good for us. Yeah, oh, this was the perfect amount of liquid, I think. I mean, it's like runny a little bit, but you know what I should do though? Is I should try it, make sure it's cooked all the way through. Okay, so I'm gonna let this spinach just kind of sit for a hot second here. And I'm gonna add a little bit of lemon zest, a little bit of lemon juice. Yes. I like juice better than zest. I know zest is like a real thing, but I don't know. I can never really tell. And I don't have a real zester, I just have a grater, so maybe that's the problem. Yeah, see, it doesn't work. We're just gonna go with juice. Juicy, juicy. All right. Man, it is looking good. Look at that. Yes. Wow. So you can see there's definitely still some liquid, but this I think was the perfect time to put it all in. Because like I said, then that chicken can get any bit left that needs to be cooked. And it'll soak up all the flavor, and the noodles will get that flavor, the orzo will get that flavor. Oh my goodness. This looks incredible. All right, I'm gonna let it finish here for a couple seconds, then we are gonna taste it. Okay, I think I got like the perfect bite. Look at it steaming though. I'm just waiting for it to cool down. I've been sitting here for like a few seconds just waiting, but I don't want to burn myself and then ruin any of the flavor. But I mean, look at that. You got the shallots, the orzo, the chicken, the tomato. Here we go. Oh my God. So good. It's so fresh. The orzo is really interesting. It's just like soft. It's definitely more like noodle than rice, but which it is a noodle, I get it, but I love it. It's really good. The tomato is super, super fresh. I love the spinach. Chicken with all those seasonings really adds a ton of flavor, and I think cooking it in the stock instead of the water, game changer. I'm gonna do that for everything now. So I'm super happy with it. I hope you guys like it and try it too. I mean, really simple, not that many ingredients. It didn't take too terribly long. I mean, really, you wouldn't even have to do the shallots if you didn't want to. I mean, that took a little time to cut up, but man, cook that chicken, spinach. You could even do it without chicken if you just wanted to do this as like a side dish. I think it would be amazing. Just toast that rice or the orzo, excuse me. I gotta quit doing that. Toast the orzo and then cook it all together with tomatoes and spinach. That would be an amazing side dish. I definitely like the chicken with it, just to make it more of a meal. So I hope you enjoy.